Welcome to our Clarity and Focus session today. I want to share a couple of insights. I'm actually part of a mastermind of some amazing people around the world, and I've literally come out of that mastermind to come here onto this particular call with all of you. So I want to share with you some insights, some opportunities, some industry stuff. And then what I want to go into in this session is the idea of focus, idea, and action. We call it FIRE. When we do this with consulting champions, we call the process FIRE, F-I-A, right? Focus, idea, and action. And then from there, we look at what bottleneck is actually stopping us from moving forward from the most important function in our business right now, and that is to actually generate sales. So this is a way, or this is a strategy to move through clutter, get recalibrated and focused on the most important thing, and then do that one small thing to be able to move the needle forward. So this is purely, for me, how to eliminate roadblocks, or for you, how to eliminate some roadblocks, get some very clear focus, and the idea is to actually move forward into. So one of the things that, by the way, we are impacting on, we're at the stage of 700 families have got solar lighting lamps for the Consulting Unleashed live event that we're holding as part of the event, the web event for good and the ticket for good. 700 families, over 70 children, underprivileged children, are going to get their education paid for an entire year. So I'm super stoked about that. And also we have 300 women who are going to receive vocational training and jobs assistance so they can gain independence. So I just want to say thank you to those who've actually gone to consultingunleashedlive.com, jumped in and bought a ticket for good, which is a $97 ticket, 4-hour masterclass happening on the May the 23rd. On that day, we're going to literally go through, going to show you how to zero into lead, qualified or quality lead, going to zero into niches, hot niches, the offers for those hot niches, the sales process to convert those hot niches, then a structure. The idea is to get 6 clients in 60 days. I'm going to walk you through that structure and that process. You get all the recordings. There's a bonus training in Consulting Unleashed Live in the actual members area if you decide to buy that ticket. Those of you who have bought a ticket, I want to say thank you. We're really looking forward to next Saturday. Super psyched about what's going to happen. Those of you who haven't bought a ticket, I am going to cap this out, right? So please do not, if you go there and you go to purchase a ticket and it's closed out, you know, you've missed out on a very, very significant opportunity. So I'm not saying that to give you the incentive of scarcity. I'm just letting you know that it will sell out and we will close out that event, because I want to make sure that to keep that group relatively tight, so that everybody that does go through that training at consultingunleashedlive.com is going to get the best out of that opportunity. So it's not like I can open up this to hundreds of people. It will cap out. So those of you who bought a ticket, I know there's a whole bunch of names here that have. I want to thank you for doing that. If you're watching this recording and you haven't got your ticket, go to consultingunleashedlive.com. Go and grab your ticket for good. You will make an impact on 16 families live with the purchase of that $97 ticket. So with that, let's get into some of the insights that I've had with some of these people that I've been talking to in a particular mastermind. Now, this particular mastermind group meets twice a year. We normally meet in a very exotic location. And this year, the exotic location was in our bedrooms. So it was in our homes. Unfortunately, we normally go to Barcelona or an island or somewhere pretty cool like Aspen, Jackson Hole or somewhere like that. But unfortunately, due to coronavirus, we've had to cancel our event. Dawn, the link to the event, I'll just put it in here. Consulting Unleashed Live.com. Let's just put the www in front of that so some people can, and therein lies the link. It's in the chat, right? So just copy and paste that and you've got the URL. So so here's the thing. Normally we meet in a pretty crazy location. We spend 3 days with each other discussing how to rule the world in the marketing space or in the agency space. So we've got some pretty clever guys. The interesting thing is the insights that have come out, some of the insights that I've been talking about for the last 2 months on these live trainings. So the 3 key areas that have highlighted a fact because of coronavirus and the inefficiencies that occurred in the marketplace. The number one area where the biggest inefficiency is, businesses have found out that if they haven't been collecting a database list or they haven't built a database list of customers, they are in trouble, right? So one of the things that people need help with right now is how to build a list, right? If you're in the opt-in email marketing game, you are in luck, because lots of businesses need to build lists. So they need lead generators and database builders. That's number one. Number two, by the way, people are spending a lot of money on now lead generation for list building as well. Number two, right, is advertising. If you're not advertising right now, if you're not letting people know you're coming back into the market, and a lot of people are running ads at the moment, you'll notice on TV, radio, on the internet, on the interwebs, on Google, lots of people running ads right now. If you are not running ads to let people know you are open, you will miss out. You will miss out in the market. You have to be running ads right now to be visible, to let people know that you are open. So if you're not doing it, you're going to be left behind. Let me tell you, you are very much going to be left behind, because coronavirus has highlighted the fact that if you don't have very visible marketing where your clients are searching for you, then you don't exist. And so that's a really critical thing. All our ad people, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, AdWords, Google ads, everything, GDN, Google Display Network. That is your opportunity right now. All those advertising platforms are critical to the market, right? So advertising is key. Number three, which was really interesting, and it came up, was strategy. People are actually paying a lot of money for business strategy, to sit down, because they've seen that processes, systems, their marketing, all these areas that they've struggled with. And one of the things they need to do is they need to get some clarity and some assurance about a path to actually follow. So companies are paying, literally, I was talking to one of the people where in this particular mastermind, they're sitting down charging people $3,000 to $5,000 to take software like Funnelytics, which is basically a funnel building software, to map out strategy for their clients, and they charge people $3,000 to $5,000 for the map. And so all they're doing is they're using a simple software tool like Funnelytics to actually map out a funnel, right? So they're not mapping out a funnel. What they're doing is they're mapping out the process of how does a business generate clients? How does a business manage their clients or keep their clients paying? How does a business actually maximize their revenue opportunity? And they literally just map it out using this Funnelytics software. And then when you create a section, when you create a piece, you can actually open that up and then put in the notes of what that is. And essentially what you're doing is you're building out the idea of a plan or a mind map of how a business needs to progress forward, what it needs to pay attention to make a move. They're selling this for $3,000 to $5,000, and the conversation is like 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, and at the end of that, it ends up in an engagement. Strategy right now, selling like hotcakes. Some of my champions are selling strategy at $6,000 to $8,000, well, actually $6,000 to $10,000, $6,000 to $10,000 for chit chat about, hey, what are we going to do to move forward here? So people are paying for strategy, and right now they need plans, they need ideas, and they need some level of assurance. And the only way you can do that is to look at your options. So one of the things, if you're doing this, you can offer this as a service to the market. So those three things, right? Building the list, advertising, and strategy are the three biggest sellers. The next big seller right now, SEO. If you've got a great link building or you've got a great strategy to accelerate the process of rankings on sites, you have a license to print money. You have a license to print money right now in the market if you can do that very rapidly in the market, right? So understand that these are some of the areas where opportunity is working right now. And at the same time, what we're seeing is a lot of movement. Now, this was a scary thing that came out of this conversation. Just looking at some of the statistics through McKinsey, Bain & Co., some of the biggest management firms in the world, some of the stats on what's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months were at one level frightening, but at another level, it just highlights how big our opportunity is. It really highlights how big our opportunity is in the market. So let me give you an example of what's going on. 30%, in fact, in New York, just in the state of New York, in the US right now, the reporting is coming out that 40% of businesses aren't coming back. So the state of New York in the United States, 40% of businesses are not going to come back into the market. This is based on the unemployment records. This is based on other statistical factors in terms of how they're paying their leasing and their bills and what's been going on in their funding, right? But they're seeing a shortfall of 40%. Now get this. We talk about the rule of thirds, right? 1/3 of the market's going to be out, 1/3 of the market is going to try and struggle and hang in there, and 1/3 of the market is going to actually push forward and grow into the market, grow into the opportunity, because there's that opportunity gap that's coming up right now where a whole bunch of people left. Who's left? Who's left in business? That's the key here. Anybody that's left in business is going to pick up that slack, right? Because customers have to go somewhere. So they're going to go to the market. So this was a figure that came out that was resonating a lot more. More than 30% of businesses that are coming back are on a knife's edge. They're hanging on by a thread. So one little rock in that, one little stumble along the way, and they're out. So that 30% that are staying in the market, right? A lot of those businesses are hanging by a thread. That means that the level of failure or the level of shutdowns in businesses is actually going to be a lot higher than has been predicted. And some of the stats are already showing that, because there's a lot of restrictions that have been lifted. A lot of businesses have already made decisions not to be able to come back because they've let go of their staff, their team. They haven't taken advantage of government incentives. They haven't seen their opportunity there. So that might be the fact that they didn't know, or they didn't act upon this, or they've been panicking in the marketplace. And this is showing that there's going to be a massive gap in the employment cycle as well. That means that anybody who's in business, one of the thread hanging things that are occurring is that they want to open. They might be in a situation say, we want to open our business, we want to get back into the market, but we let go of our team and we can't get them back. And if we can't get them back, we can't open. We want to open, we have the capability to open, but if we can't get the people we've let go back for whatever reason, and some people just aren't going to come back, right? If we can't get them back, we can't open our doors. We actually can't serve or deliver to the market. That's 60% of the business market. 30% out, 30% hanging on by a thread. Crazy, crazy stuff. Now that leaves 40% of the market that is rocking and rolling in the market. They're pivoting, changing, adapting. So areas that are going to grow right now is bespoke manufacturing. Custom manufacturing is going to be on the rise, and the reason for that is because there's been a huge deficit of inventory, components and parts out of Europe and Southeast Asia to the United States and Western countries because of all these lockdowns, right? Factories are locked down, a whole bunch of stuff's been disrupted. So the chain of distribution is going to be disrupted as well. The carry-on or the domino effect or the butterfly effect of the inconsistency of delivery of components is going to impact on the goods and services that are being delivered into the market. So what companies are doing right now, they're realizing that there's a gap, and so there's going to be new manufacturing businesses delivering product or components back into the market. Those businesses have money, they have funding, and they will actually spend money on marketing. So thing to watch out for, manufacturing industry. Anybody who's doing direct service to the market, that is an opportunity for a client base. So there's some interesting markets right now that are emerging from the challenge that are coming back into an opportunity state. So here's the thing, and I want to demonstrate the point of what happens when there's a disruption in the actual production chain, in the actual delivery or distribution chain. So perfect example. Toyota, car manufacturer in Japan, right? A little while ago, they had a major tsunami, right? They had a major tsunami. That tsunami had an impact on the factory that Toyota builds its cars in. And so for a 4-month period or 5-month period, one of their biggest selling cars, which was a truck, right, which is like the Tacoma, and in Australia we call them a Hilux, the same vehicle. There was a huge disruption to the distribution of that car for about 5 months. They couldn't get the inventory to the United States, to the UK, and to Australia. And this was their biggest selling vehicle. What happened in that moment when they couldn't deliver? Other car manufacturers came to the market and started launching or promoting their SUVs in the same category. And so all of a sudden there's been this flood into the market in the US where Chevrolet did it with the Silverado, Ram did it with their trucks. Then you saw guys like Isuzu, Subaru, Nissan, all bringing in trucks. Mitsubishi started bringing trucks in the market, started to flood. Even Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz brought in a new truck into the market to compete at this level. And that 6-month gap was enough to open up new market share for the competition. So think about that. That is a direct demonstration where there was a geological impact on a geopolitical and geological impact on the, or actually is an environmental impact on the country that stalled production for 6 months. That meant 6 months, that meant a year's worth of inventory was lost to Toyota. It took them a year to get back to normal in terms of production. It's taken them 3-4 years to kind of get back to the levels they were 3 or 4 years ago. Interesting scenario is being played out right now in the market. So this is why manufacturing is going to be bespoke and custom manufacturing. The 3D industrial market, the additives market, on the rise. Big niche. So that's just to give you some perspective. So remember the core services, right? List building, building a customer base and engaging a customer base for sales, email marketing, opt-in type marketing, lead generation, very key for a lot of business to build a database. Number 2, must be advertising. If you're not advertising, you're dead. If you're not running ads right now, you are dead. You're out, right? Because people can't find you on the Googs, on the Google. Can't do it, right? So you've got a problem. So you either got to find your customers some other way, but right now it's cheaper to advertise, and advertising is going to be your saving grace. If you've got the right product, right offer, right strategy, you're going to generate sales. Very important. Need to keep advertising. And by the way, lots of people now jumping into advertising. People that never advertised before coming into the market and running ads. Very cool for all of us here, right? Third thing, strategy. Strategy is being bought by the bucket loads, right? Our champions are selling strategy by the bucket loads, and they're selling it for thousands of dollars. They're getting paid for thinking. We have one of our champions who sells a $5,000 strategy session. That's the first thing they sell. And the customer has to do that first, and then they start doing implementation on the back end. So they've created a whole business around selling strategy sessions. Last month, they added 7 new clients. They paid $5,000, so it's $35,000 cash in strategy sessions for $5,000 for a 1.5 hour conversation, right? And then from there, they have an implementation schedule out of the strategy. So this is what we've discovered. This is what needs to be fixed. Where do you want us to start? And then they go, great, well, we want you to start on that. So the conversion rate for selling strategy to sale is very high, very high. Right. So there are some insights. I'm happy to open up to some questions here. I know we've got a whole bunch of people. If you can hear me or see me, just chat 1 or just type 1 on the keyboard so I know that you've got me. And if you've got a question, let me answer the question right now based on perhaps what I've shared with you, if you do have one. Okay, so you can see me, hear me. That's great. Question. Anybody got a question or anybody got an insight that they'd like to share? Just type it in the chat, or if you'd like me to elaborate on something, I'll elaborate on it before we get into the idea of FIRE. You know, focus, idea, and action. Any takeaways? Eric says loud and clear. Okay, Eric. I don't know what that means. Oh, you hear me loud and clear. That's cool. What kind of proof do we need to sell high-ticket strategy blueprints? Howard, you don't actually need proof. What you've got to do is you've got to have a process to actually deliver the strategy session. So it's not about proof. People aren't buying strategy based on proof. People are buying strategy because they know they need it. People are buying strategy because they sit there and go, right, I've got no plans right now. So I need to plan. I need to sit there and organize my planning. So one of the things that we would do is the first thing we do before we talk to anybody is to actually have a concise, focused planning session, right? To make sure that we're clear about the path that we're taking so you can move forward. Because if we just jump into doing stuff without planning, not going to work, right? We're going to make some mistakes. So you don't need proof to sell high ticket planning at all. No proof at all. Just the capability to actually do it. Chris says, which industry is spending $5,000 for a half-hour strategy session? Financial planners, insurance industry, accounting firms, which are really weird because they actually sell strategy, so they're paying for it. Also, e-commerce businesses are paying $5,000 plus. What else who else are they talking to? They're talking to the contractor market. The roofing market is paying for that sort of money for planning. You name it. Every business that is looking to acquire customers, looking to actually look at getting some sense about what's going on and what's coming in the future, getting focused on key strategy to move forward so they can grow their business. They are spending money on those on strategy sessions, Chris. Lots and lots of businesses, lots of markets. Dawn says, ready, fire, aim. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, what I've just shared with you opens up a lot of can of worms and opportunities. The thing that, although it sounds scary, it is incredibly exciting because lots of businesses out there have money. They have money to spend and they have money to invest. Yes, a lot of businesses don't have money, right? But a lot of businesses do have money. We have one of our champions is actually helping their clients get the funding, $20,000 towards online marketing. Their local city is giving 20 grand to local marketing, and they're helping those people get that funding, and the funding is going straight to them. So picking up $20,000 cash by the government, not by the client, which is pretty awesome. So they literally what they've done is they've pivoted to help them to get the grant money. So they do the application for them, they show them what has to happen, and then the funds are when they get the funds, they use the funds, they have to use the funds for the services being provided. That's awesome, right? That's awesome. It's a great way to pick up cash. Any other questions about what I've shared? So Mark, we're almost done with the Inner Circle paid clients. So now we are elaborating on the step required to turn a potential student to a paid one using advertising. The 5 paid clients are helping us define all the steps to sell better packages, our offer for the big boys, and get more money. Awesome, mate. Well done. That's excellent work, Mark. The fact that you've put this together, this is going to open the door to new markets. The other thing I will share with you, just for consideration, there is a famous book and it's called The Blue Ocean Strategy. You just Google it. Right now, that concept of the blue ocean is opening right up. Red ocean is where you have a market with lots of competition, lots of commodity pricing. A blue ocean is an untapped market. And there are a lot of untapped markets right now for what we do in the marketplace. There are literally thousands of business opportunities for us in untapped blue ocean markets. So a blue ocean strategy is to deliver a service that is unique to that particular market. One where they can benefit, one where you actually understand the result you're delivering to that market. Let me tell you, there are a ton of blue ocean markets that there's no competition in at all. And so the idea is to just, you've got to think about what your strategy is to help those markets, what the problem is. Think of old school markets. Think of markets that have been building businesses old school, that have not come into or starting to realize that technology is going to play a big part in their industry. So old school businesses are businesses that have been heavily reliant upon relationships, not reliant upon marketing, right? So customer service or account management has been a very physical thing, not an online thing. And there's lots of businesses, like manufacturing is one of those industries. That's a huge blue ocean market because they don't do automation in selling. They don't do automation in marketing, right? That industry's had a huge impact. So that's one area. Look at manufacturing and then look at the sub niches inside manufacturing that you can go to where they're sitting there going, you know what? We have to do it differently. We're being forced to do it differently. It's one of the easiest sales you can actually make in the marketplace. So blue ocean as opposed to red ocean. Right now, the blue oceans are opening up all over the world. We can even sell a different funnel to turn prospects and students into paid. Yes, like you said, they pay for each funnel. Yeah, absolutely. You can have multiple funnels and they pay for each funnel or rent each funnel from you. Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you this question, right? What are you working on right now? What's the thing that you're working on right now, right? And what is stopping you from getting out and actually making sales? So what is the project that you're working on right now? And my question to you is, what is the thing that's stopping you from making the sale? I want to go, what we want to do is we want to focus, idea, and action. And what I want to do is be able to help you, or as many of you as I can, in the time that we have, to maximize the opportunity to get results to move forward. So I want to break down some of this stuff. I might even invite you to have chit chat with me if you have a microphone, but I want to help as many people as possible to move forward. So think about, get a blank page, and on that blank page, you want to put in focus, idea, and action. So spread across the page. So a focus column, an idea column, and an action column, right? So number one right now, what is the number one project you're focused on right now for your business? I just want you to write that in the focus section, right? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to do that, right? Just write down, what is the thing right now that you're focusing on getting done? The focus part. Focus, right? Right. So if you're doing lead generation, that's your focus. What's the idea, right, for the lead generation, right? If you're building a funnel right now, and that's your thing, that's your project, right? But my question to you is, how is that getting to your sale faster? So what's also holding you up, right? Hybrid of LinkedIn into a funnel. Yes, James. Okay. So my question to you, James, is what's stopping you from selling that right now? What's the hold up in getting this to sale, right? That's the question you want to answer here. What is holding you up from selling this right now, James? You have 2 appointments. Great. That's awesome. And so my question is, how do we get 10 appointments, right? Because 2 appointments, you got a 50-50 chance, a yes or no for both of those appointments. Yeah. So generally what you're looking at is you're probably looking at an idea. You need 5 appointments to make a sale on average, and again, depending on the relationship. The thought came to you yesterday. Don't know what the thought is, but hopefully that works. Closing a particular sale to get cash in bank. So Chris, closing a particular sale. I'm going to ask you, Chris, do you have a microphone? Do you have a microphone? Just type yes if you have a microphone, because I want to talk to you about this sale. So awesome. So let me find you here, my friend. Chris, where are you, Chris? There you are. I'm going to allow you to talk. Hey, Chris, how you doing? You there, Chris?
Yep, I am.
Awesome, mate. So you're trying to get a sale over the line. Tell me about the sale.
The guy wants a website, but yep. I'm also upselling on SEO and local marketing.
Okay, so he wants a website. First of all, I'd sell him the website, right? SEO will come after the website, right?
Correct.
Now, when you say local marketing, what do you mean by local marketing?
Google My Business and stuff like that.
Okay, GMB, and what else?
Social media promotion.
Okay.
That's in there.
When you say social media promotion, what do you mean by that?
Just
is
promoting
that Facebook ads, or is that curating and posting?
No. Yeah, just posting, no ads.
Okay, so
he's a farmer and he's not well up on the stuff yet.
Okay, so my question, so he says I need a website, yes?
Correct.
So have you already shared?
All he's got is a Facebook page.
Yeah, have you shared a price?
We have, and the price is fine.
The price is fine. Okay.
Yep.
So my question is, what is stopping him from going ahead and paying you money right now?
I don't know. I'll know later today.
Oh, you'll know today. Okay. So
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a call with him today. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hopefully in about an hour and a half.
Awesome. So all you're going to do is pretty simple. Say, great, we talked about the site. Let's get the site up and running. All this other stuff, if he balks at the offer of all the other stuff, because he doesn't know what, he doesn't know, he's not up to speed, right? My thing is why does he need a website? That's my question.
That's a question I ask anybody who's in the website.
Yeah, but what is his answer to that response?
To get more visibility for his products.
Okay, so he's trying to put his product to market. All right. So yep.
He's got a good product and a good profit, and he just needs to get more market share.
Okay, so how much are you charging for the website, Chris?
1,300 Kiwi. It's only 4 pages.
Okay. And how much are you charging for Google My Business, SEO, and social media content?
The SEO will be around about 1,000 a month for 2 target pages, and the other one will be about 150. No, it'll be more than that. It'll be 300 a month.
Okay. So you're looking at 1,300 a month.
Yep.
Okay. So he's got to
he's having a small client.
Yep. So 1,300 down, 1,300 a month. Well, all you got to do is ask him to get started. Throw out your credit card. Let's go. Right. You're going to have to say, yep. Great. First of all, let's get that site up and running. And then once we get the site up and running, then we're going to go phase 2. Phase 2 is doing the search, doing the social media posting, whatever the deal or whatever the package is, right? And so that's what we're going to do from now on. So number 1, let's get the site up. Number 2, we've got to get the site found, and we've got to drive some traffic to it. Are you in or you're out?
Correct.
It's pretty simple, right? So
no,
mate,
that's what today,
sorry?
That's what today is all about.
Well, you just got to ask him to buy if he's interested in getting the mate. 4-page website, $1,300 is a freaking bargain.
Exactly.
Right?
He knows that.
Yeah, like that's crazy. You should be charging at least $5,000 for a 4-page website, right? But $1,300. My question is, why would he say no to you?
I can't imagine, because he'll get all the goodies from me.
Yeah, but the reason I'm asking this question, Chris, is what reason won't he buy? If there is any reason.
I don't think there is a reason, because you already had another quote for $2,500.
Okay, all right. So you're coming at a lower value proposition. All right. Well, the thing is,
yeah, but this is, I use a white label crowd and to do the work, and I've got a really good profit in here.
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. So okay, so all you got to do is ask the guy to buy. Simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the ticket over the line, and it's done.
I'll let you know when you get us.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
All right. All right. Now we've got another person chatting here. You gave me the idea to sell a strategy session to get more students online. Okay. So bottleneck. I guess what I'm asking you for here is, if we go at where's your focus, what's your idea, and what's the action, right? What did you write down, right? What's the focus you're doing right now? What's the idea you're working on? What's the action is what you need to focus on, right? But if you want me to help you, where are you stuck? You're either going to be stuck in engaging a lead, making an appointment, converting the sale, getting clarity on the offer. These are the areas you're going to be stuck. So if you type in, I'm having trouble with my offer, then let's talk about your offer. If you're having trouble with making an appointment, let's talk about making an appointment. If you're having trouble about getting leads, let's talk about getting some leads, right? What I want to do is move the needle as quickly as possible. So if you can just type in the chat, I want to be able to help you out. Shamil, Oscar, Mark, Lou, Zaf, good to see you here. Chris, lots of Chris's. Dawn, Eric, George, good to see you, George. Chris, Alan, good to have you here, Alan. Right, just type in the chat, right? Think about where you are. Think about what you need help with. Do you need help with getting the lead? Do you need help with converting the lead into an appointment? Do you need help with helping that appointment convert into a sale, right? Where are you stuck? I want you to just type in where you're stuck. And if you want me to help you, then just go, whatever the problem is, and go, yes, you've got a microphone, right? Whatever the issue is, and go, yes, you've got a microphone. Pretty simple, right? Just type it in the chat. If you can hear me or see me, just type 2, just so I know that you're getting this. Okay, we've got a few people seeing me. Awesome, great. All right, so let me ask you the question. I'm asking all of you, Mark, Oscar, Shamil, Zaf, Lou, right? Where are you stuck right now? I need to know where you're stuck. You have problems making an appointment. Okay, Oscar, do you have a microphone, Oscar? Just type yes if you've got a microphone. Let's help you make some appointments, yeah? Let's do this, right? Do you have a microphone, Oscar? Awesome. I'm going to unmute you, Oscar. Where are you, Oscar? You're here. Okay. All right, Oscar, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you, John?
I'm good, man. Okay. So when you say you're having problems making appointments, how are you, tell me what the problem is in making the appointment.
I'm using cold email.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Like you teach before.
Yep.
So I'm having problem converting that conversation into an appointment.
Okay, so are you waiting for somebody to get back to you on the cold email, or are you picking up the phone and following up the cold email?
No, so I did a little different, you say, well, I send like thousands of email, and the people that reply, that's the people that I'm talking to.
Okay. So how many out of 1,000 people do reply on average?
Like six, 5 a day.
Yep. Okay. 6 to 5 a day. Right. Okay. So do you get them on the phone?
No, they reply by email.
Okay. So then do you call them when they reply by email? Are they asking for more email on information on the email that they replied to, or do you do you hop on the phone with them? That's the question. Are you able to get their phone number?
No. They
Okay,
told
so they're replying.
I asked them reply yes.
Okay.
And the best phone number.
So only ask for one thing right now. Don't ask for two things, right? You only want to ask for one thing. Okay. So the thing that you want to ask for is don't reply yes to the email. Think best phone number to contact you on. If you're interested in this idea, what's the best phone number I can contact you on? Reply with your best phone number. If they reply with your best phone number, then you can pick up the phone and call them. If they're replying yes to the email, there's a couple of things that are going on here. You need to go back to them and say, hey, thanks for replying yes. Here's a little bit more information about what this is about. One of the best things we can do is grab a time on my calendar here. So in your reply, take the next step to say, hey, look, don't give too much information, right? You want to give a little bit of information, right? So look, the next step thing that we can do, if you want to really help, right now we're helping a whole bunch of people get results in this area. What I'd love to be able to do is just have a very quick chat, just so I can share, or more importantly, to see if this is relevant for you, if this is a fit, right? What's the best way we can get on the phone? Now, here's the thing, Oscar. You have to email them. You have to keep emailing them, right? If you can find them on Facebook and connect with them on Facebook. If you can find them on LinkedIn, connect with them on LinkedIn, right? You need to be able to connect with them in other areas, hey? Right, in other areas, right? Because if you're just doing email, you've got one modality. And if you can't pick up the phone and call the business owner, right? If you don't have that phone number, or if you can't find that phone number, just sending an email is too slow. You need to be able to craft or get access to other areas that you can access them on, right? Because the email is just one modality. And the other thing is how fast you get back to them. If somebody says yes, and you can get back to them like within 30 seconds, say, hey, great, I'm here to help you, right? Is there any chance that we can hop on the phone? And you can ask that question straight away, right?
Yeah, that's also my fault.
You can't wait 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. So what I would do if I were you is, anybody who's doing cold email, by the way, what I do is I would turn the notifications on my phone when somebody replies. And as soon as somebody replies, I respond straight away. As soon as they reply, I respond straight away, right? Because if you don't know when they reply and you wait 1 day or the next day, they have forgotten what they've replied to, Oscar. They've forgotten what they replied. And you've got six, if you get 5 or 6 opportunities every day, those opportunities are going to stack up. So the faster you can get back to people, the faster you can engage people. So another way to do this, Oscar, is send them something that they have to opt into. Say, look, I've got this for you. Go and grab it here. Thanks for replying back. Here's the thing that you asked for, and get them to opt into something so you can get more information on them. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's true also. Yeah.
So that's the other way to get people through. If they're replying, you need an immediate response, right? And you need to give them options. So drag them to a page, grab this thing. If they grab this thing, you have to leave your phone number. You want to get access to the thing? Let me text you this information. Because where do people live? They live on the phone, right? So what I want to do is let me text you the link. Give me your phone number. I'll text you the link. Now you got a phone number, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's another way to do the same thing. Yeah. So if you can't, if you're anybody here is doing cold emailing, right? What I would do is I would actually have something ready to reply with, so that they can either opt into or ask for the phone number. Yeah. So rather than saying, let me see the email, let me see the text message, let me see the link on text, right? So that way they have to give you a phone number, and then you send the text. All right. Now, if you don't hear back from, say, hey, I just shot, you said yes to this, haven't heard back from you. So another email that I would go to is, I haven't heard back from you, right? I haven't heard back from you. And so I want to get this to you, right? I want to get this to you. So what's the best phone number I can text you the information on? You can ask the question in a follow-up email. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's another way. That's another way to do that. If you can text it to them, that's awesome. You just copy and paste the link, right? Now you've got a phone number and say, hey, just want to make sure you got my link, right? How you doing? Right? Now you can start that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. John, can I ask you another
Yes.
question? Is related to the offer. What I'm doing is I'm offering the dentist, okay, a way to get a landing page, a funnel, to get people that are looking for emergencies right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So to let them know. So what I'm doing is with a Google ad, getting the clicks. So I'm getting calls from $13, $14. So in the landing page, I put a specific 10 emergency conditions.
Yeah.
So how?
So the way the offer right now, right now, this is a dental industry specific emergency calling service. So your email could be say, hey, this is for the dental industry, and this is for emergency calls. Emergency dental calls for the dental industry. That's your subject line. Emergency dental calls for the dental industry. Right now, you want to be making sure that you're visible, you're found, and that you're getting these emergency calls as opposed to somebody else. So we've devised a system for the entire industry as a standard to make sure that you maximize your opportunity to get the phone call. If you want to know more, just text us the best number we can send you a link on, and you can see what it looks like. This is the fastest and easiest way to get dental emergency calls for your location and for your business right now, for your dental practice right now. There's your offer. Pretty simple.
Right. Thanks. And
I have recorded this, Oscar, so you can pick it up on the other side when I put this recording up.
Thank you so much.
So that's the way I would do it. That's the way I would do it. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Oscar. I appreciate you asking the question. Thank you for sharing. Dawn is saying, Dawn. FIRE stands for focus, right? Idea is idea, and action, right? Focus, idea, and action. So what's your focus? What's the idea for that focus? What's the action on that focus? Most people spend more time thinking about things that they shouldn't be doing rather than things that they should be doing, right? Most people right now, if your only job is to get a client, then everything you do has to be towards generating a client, right? Anything else, if you're working on anything else other than acquiring a customer, you are wasting time on that other thing, right? Do that in the time where you're watching Netflix. Don't do it in the time in your working hours, in your working time. Yeah. So, Dawn, go to the admin panel users, add an alias to your primary email account. It will land in your inbox and you can create a filter. Yes, you can absolutely create a filter for all emails that you send out, Dawn. Mark, refining the process, but I think I would need to know how to position my offer to bigger companies. That's a little bit of an elongated conversation, Mark, but let's talk about that in a second. Shamil, my bottleneck ties together with formalizing my sales process, offer, sales presentation, and sticker shock. Okay, so Shamil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute you in a second. Do you have a microphone, Shamil? Just say yes. If you do. If you don't, you do. Okay, just give me a second, Shamil. I'm going to get you on here. I'm just going to read through this. Howard Tiano, my G Suite is using similar domains to my agency email. I don't know if that's a question. Dawn, you were talking about, okay, that's cool. All right, so Shamil, let's do this to help you out, my friend. Shamil. Hey, Shamil, how you doing?
Hi, John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, man. How you doing, all right?
Good, I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you so much for doing this. This has been fantastic.
Oh, you're welcome, man. So I want you to, there's a couple of things. I know you're working on the sales process. I know you're working on your offer. I know you're working on the price points for what you do. So just to give me a catch up, a brief, because I'm just writing notes here so I can help you out here.
Sure.
Just give me an overview so I can help you out and I can break this down. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I used to have a background in doing web designs, like here and there, just one-offs. With COVID, hours slowed down a lot at work. So I started to try to formalize it. And that's what I mean by formalizing the process. You helped me figure out some sort of pricing structure. So I actually created 3 packages that I offered to some referrals that I had within my network that work in the legal field.
Yeah.
They usually have either very limited or outdated, is usually what I'm finding, outdated presence online. I'm talking like 1990s designed websites.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, I had a couple of conversations already. The sticker shock comes from, them not having invested in a couple of years in it. They do a lot of word of mouth. They get referrals from their networks.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to make it more of a, formalized process of really walking them from somebody who hasn't thought about this, or at least invested in it, better not to say thought.
Okay. So here's what I would do, Shamil. Have you got some really good designs? Have you got some really good examples of design?
Yeah, I've got about 3 or 4 that I've been using that I've done recently.
Okay, so you need to talk about the conversion factor. You need to talk about what happens when somebody goes to that site. Right now, is anybody advertising on the sites that you've created? Are they running ads?
No, not right now, no.
So have they run ads before?
No, these are the people that I've just recently finished work on are now getting into it. I'm working with them to do that now. Okay, all right. So what we need to do is we need to say, listen, this is a before and after, and this is why this is important to you. If you look like a bucket of pus, or if you look like a lawyer from the 90s, you need to get your act together into the 2020s. Yeah. So number one, if you look like a shitbag online, then you are a shitbag. Right. So right now, this is a big problem for people. And the other thing is you need to make it easy for people to find you. And right now, if I can't find you online effectively, right, then you don't exist. And right now, lawyers or the law industry is going through the roof. Right. So if you have not made an adjustment to your messaging or the way you brand yourself in the market, you've got a problem. If you're not making it easy for people to inquire, if you have a placard website, a PDF that says, here is a list of my services, right? If you don't direct people to what they need to be able to hire you, or you don't make it easy for them to do that, you are missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of caseloads, right? Your current website is costing you money. Right? So what's a case worth to you? Because right now, and here's another way to do this, Shamil, have you ever asked a lawyer how many clients they think they get from the website? If you said, what percentage of clients do you think you get from your website? Have you ever asked that question? No, actually I haven't. I just hear them say they don't depend on it. So basically zero, yeah.
So just ask the question. Say, listen, right now, I mean, you're online, right? What percentage of business do you think comes to you online? I know 50% of your business referrals and you're getting clients through that, right? But you've got no control over that right now. And you know the 50% of the people who referred you, half of those people are out of work right now. They're gone. They're not going to be referring anybody to you. So all these referrals that you got, they're out of the market, right? So if you've been relying on referrals, you're screwed. You need to go direct to market, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like, 30% of business not coming back. Some of those 30% are your referees. So that means your referees are no longer going to refer to you anymore, right? What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Right. How much of an impact is that going to have financially on your business, right? So that's number one. Number two, you need to be visible. And right now you're not visible. I know that you're not visible. Right? You need to work like these guys and show examples, right? The reason why these sites work is because they're professional, they put the right branding and image, and they make it easy for somebody to start a case with the firm. Right now, if you compare what you've got to what's going on in the modern world, do you look like a bucket of shit, or are you up to speed, right? So my question, don't call it a bucket of shit. I'm just using that as an example. but I should say a bucket of pus. Like, I'll be gentle. But here's the thing, right? My question to anybody that has a website, because websites have been around for quite a while now, right? Is I'll often ask questions. Listen, well, if you were to guess, right? How much business do you think you've gotten from inquiries through your site? Now, some people are going to go, their average that I hear is 10%. Some people say 20%. Some people say 30% of their business they believe comes from their website, right? But most people come up with this idea of 10%. So what I do is say, right, if 10%, so approximately what does 10% of the 10% revenue represent to your law firm, roughly? Right? I did an accurate figure, but just a rough guide, right? Is it between 100 to 200,000 a year? Is it 300,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what is that percentage? Even if it's 50 grand, right? You would be talking to a very small law firm if it was 50 grand, right? Mm-hmm. But if it was 50 grand, right? That's $50,000 that you are getting through a vehicle online that you don't actually have to do anything with right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So my question would be to maximize the opportunity, right? Of, you know, if it's 50 grand this year, it's $100,000 in 2 years. What if we actually could increase that 50 grand to 70 grand or 80 or 90 grand? Would that be worthwhile having a look at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
If you're thinking about an asset to your business, your shopfront window is what you look like to the world. And if you look like you're back in the 90s, then the world is going to bypass you. So my question to you is, do you want to actually have a better brand, a better showing, and a better structure to get back out into the marketplace? Because right now people need to find you and they can't. People need to engage and connect with you and they can't. You're not making it easy for them to do that. And so if you think websites aren't important, look at all the law firms right now that are running ads all over the place to get people to their website. Their website's very important. So if you're going to be in business, right now, the search volumes for the law fraternity has increased 4 times over the last 3 months. 4 times the amount of people are searching more for your services in the marketplace. Now, if they can't find you, and if you look like a bucket of pus, you're out. So do you understand why it's important to get your brand, your message, and also to be visible online? Because this is your shopfront window, right? So here's how you convince a person to buy a website. Do you have one of these devices that you sleep with 24/7 or hang out with 24/7? They're going to go, yes, right? How often do you search this device on Google for services a day, Mr. Lawyer, on average? Oh, I'm on it at least 10, 20 times a day. Great. Have you made any physical purchases of any products using your phone? Buy any subscriptions, pay for bills, do all that sort of stuff? Do you use your phone to do that? Yeah, right. Now, how do you think people look for law firms right now?
Online.
On this. So let me look for a law firm in your area, right? Do you know ABC lawyers? Yep. Do you know XYZ lawyers? Yep. Well, they're advertising online right now in your market, but I can't see you advertising here at the moment, right? So they're telling me that they're open and you're showing me that you're closed. Now, my question is, would you have me prefer to call them and give my business to them, or would you like first crack at somebody looking for you? What do you want to do? Mm-hmm. Right?
Okay.
Where do you want them to go? Because right now I can't call you, but I can call them, right? Yeah. I can't even find you on Google Maps, but I can find them. And these guys are around the corner from you, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think we need to get our act together online? What is it worth to you? It is worth hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, millions of dollars worth of case fees, depending on the size of your firm, right? So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is a very small investment with a much greater return in the now and in the long run. So my question to you is, how important is it for you to get this right?
Okay.
I've recorded this, by the way. Sheila. So you can grab the recording, okay? So understand that. So your approach needs to be, hey, this is what's going on. Here's how you make it better. Here's how we make it faster. And here's how easy we make it for you to get this done. We specialize in this area, in this category. We've done many of these out in the marketplace. And right now, the number one thing that people realize is what they've got online isn't good enough for the market. And let me tell you, the market will vote in the way that they see how you represent yourself. And right now, if I show you this or show you this, at the end of the day, which would you choose?
So John, would you recommend me walking them through building that out? Because I know that the average caseload can be anywhere between 10 to 25K in this market.
Yeah.
You know, is that what you would recommend, so they can see the value that can come from their website versus what they're not investing in now? So
here's how you see the value of on a website. If we can get 1,000 visitors to your website and 1% of those convert into a sale, how many sales is that?
10 sales, yeah.
Right, 10 sales. So 10 cases. How much 10 cases worth to you?
You're talking up to 250,000, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my question to you, is it worth chasing that 250 grand?
Mm-hmm.
Now we get 2,000 people there, right? Now, what if we went for a 1% conversion? That's converting 1%. That's not converting 10%. But if we went from a 1% conversion to 1.5% conversion, right? So now we're doing 15 sales. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. The numbers start to stack up. What you do is you show people a conversions table. This is what happens at 1% with 1,000 visitors. This is what happens at 1% at 2,000 visitors. Now, if we go to 2%, this is what happens at 2%. 70%. So here's the thing, and this is the numbers, and the numbers are still the same. They haven't changed over the years. So for those of you listening, here's a ratio of attendance on a website, right? So you get 1,000 visitors to a website, and more. On average, a website will have a bump rate of about 70%. So 3 seconds, 70% of the people that visit your website are out, right? So 70%. So that's, we go from 1,000 to 300 people, right? Now, of the 300 people, they will bounce, right? Half of those people will bounce in the next 15 to 20 seconds, right? 15 to 20 seconds. If they can't find what they need to find on the site, they will bounce, right? So now we're left with 150 people. 150 people will spend an average about a minute to a minute and a half on the website. Anybody spending about a minute and a half on the website, about 10% of those people will make an inquiry. So you're going to end up with about 10 to 15 inquiries. This is where roughly what you're going to get out of 1,000. That's if you've got a high bounce rate, right? This is the worst case scenario I'm painting for you, Shamil, right? So now we've got 10 to 15 inquiries. Out of 10 to 15 inquiries, if you follow them up, you're going to close 1 to 3 deals. So 1 deal, 15 grand, 3 deals, 75 grand. Yeah. So that's the ratio, right? So if we change the bounce rate from 70% to 50%, you'll double your sales, right?
Yeah.
If we can get them to stay for a minute and a half on your website, you're going to double your revenue, double your opportunities, right? So that's using a little bit of conversion ninjutsu.
I like that.
Right? Conversion ninjutsu. So has that been helpful to you, Shamil?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That was my big concern on some of those calls that I had, was really trying to build the value from, hey, I just need an updated website, to, no, this can actually be a sales system for you that can make money for you in a big way.
You want cases, yeah? I would go straight to, you want cases, yeah? If we can get an extra 10 or 15 cases a month through this site, would that be useful to you?
Absolutely.
Right? What are 10 or 15 cases worth to you? Oh, 10 cases would be like 100 grand, right? Great. Yeah. This is over and above what you're doing right now. So if we build the thing and drive the traffic, right? You know, what you're paying is a fraction of what the return is going to be. And it's measurable. It's measurable, right? So sitting there saying, well, I've never spent this kind of money before. So, well, people are spending 2-3 times more than what you're spending, right? Some companies are spending, you know, if you look at Mallinson's or Freeman's, which are the largest law firms in the world, right? Yeah, they didn't spend 5 grand building a website. You know, they spent a couple $100,000 or $1 million building their website. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that they value their websites? Yeah. Well, they know that that's their brand, that's their message, that's their connection. That's the first point of contact that people have when they search for their real estate online. If your real estate online doesn't look hot, then you're out. You're a not. You know, we're in the hot or not market right now. Yeah. Instagram taught us that, hot or not, right? I like it, I don't like it, right? Tinder, same thing, right? Swipe left, swipe right. Yeah. That's what businesses are in right now. We're in the Tinder mode for businesses. I like what you look like. I don't like what you look like. Next, next, next. Are you open? Are you closed? Are you open after hours? Are you closed after hours? Next, next, next. Swipe left, swipe right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, John. I'm going to keep you updated on my progress there. That's really helpful. I'm using that.
Awesome, man. Thanks for being here, and thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Okay. Eric Servants. John, how much how much should we charge to get a personal injury lawyer on Google My Business in Houston, GMB or AdWords for personal injury lawyers Houston? First of all, the minimum I would charge would be between $1,500 and $3,000 for the setup, a proper effective setup of GMB. And then I'd probably looking about anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a month to manage the GMB, to manage the Google My Business. Yeah, that's what I would do, right? Yeah. So that's what I would do. I would charge $1,500 to $3,000 to set it up. So that means images, citations, videos, like you fill it out completely, right? So you optimize it as much as you can. You're going to need some assets, $1,500 to $3,000. And then from there, I would charge about $1,500 a month on average to do the citations, to do the backlinking, to get that ranked up as much as possible. So yeah, that's roughly what I would charge. Yeah. If I was doing low end, Eric, low end, you know, Jesus, I mean, you're not making really any money if you're getting somebody else to do it, you still make money. So let's say $1,000 setup and $1,000 a month for management. That would be my low ball. But again, you know, it depends on the law firm, depends on the competition. There's a whole bunch of other things that come into that. Adwords for personal injury lawyers, anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000. They've got to have at least $5,000 to $10,000 to spend or more on personal injury. Probably more actually. I'll probably say a budget of $15,000 will work really well. You get a $15,000 budget, you're going to rock it out of the park. I know it can work with smaller budgets, but if you've got big budgets, you can get big caseloads. So yeah. All right, any other questions? I'm happy to take one more question. Otherwise, I'm going to say, hey, enjoy your weekend, everybody. I know it's the end of the day. Mark. Let's see where you are, Mark. Okay, let's ask the question. Okay, Mark.
I'm mute.
Yep, I've got you unmuted. All right, so give me the question.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna go real quick. Right now, we're about to finish with those tutors. There's 2 weeks left. We're refining the process, all the steps. Now, I would like to, like I said, I like to offer that to bigger companies, and I like the strategy session there that you said that we can sell. But how would I position this to bigger companies that need more students, and because I just want to show them what's possible if they use that process.
So the way to sell strategy is you've got to do a plan, right? So before you sell the system, you've got to do a plan for the system. So my recommendation of selling strategy is, like, at the end of the day, look, you need the result, right? So what are the problems that the market is facing? Bad follow-up, poor service, no follow-up. Driving people away, right? Spending money on marketing and having student lists and not engaging them effectively is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we know what the problem is, right? So that's the problem. Now, what I would do if I were you, Mark, is I would actually go and call a few of these companies and act like a student. And record the call, record the phone call. Act like a student, record the phone call. The reason why I would do this is because you would find out exactly how they treat you as a prospective student for their courses, right? So for example, let's say I'm hopping on the phone to inquire about getting my license or certification to be a trainer, right? So let's say I want to be a fitness trainer. So I'm calling a fitness company. You offer fitness training. I want to become a fitness trainer. I need certification. I'm going to call you. Hey, I'm interested in getting some certification for fitness, right? And then what will happen sometimes is this person, if they're not trained properly, will sit there and say, well, if you want to do that, just go and hop on our website and apply there. And then they'll send them away, right? But if you record that phone call, that shows you that they are killing their conversions, right? Now, if 4 or 5 companies that you call when you act like a student do that to you, you can sit there and say, listen, we talked to a number of people, and here's 5 examples where we were calling as a student interested in purchasing a program, and the first thing they did was send us away to the marketplace, right? To the website. So you lose my opportunity. If your average course is $2,000, $10,000, whatever the average course is, every time your person does that, is you're sending $10,000 or $2,000 away from your business to go to a competitor who will handle that phone inquiry more effectively. So one of the things you want to be making sure is these are things that are inefficient. You want to maximize conversions. So if I can talk to you about a system or strategy where we maximize conversions, let's have that conversation first. Then the first step is we want to map out your process and the flow, and then look at the system of implementation to actually get a better result. And so to do that, the first step in our process is to do a strategy session. do a strategy plan or implementation plan or a student enrollment systems plan. And the student enrollment systems plan is $5,000 or $10,000, whatever you want to charge, right? What that looks like is, this is what's happening now, this is what must happen, and this is what needs to be put into place to make that a reality. That's your plan. Does that make sense, Mark?
Yes, because we already doing that anyways, because we're doing that with the students. We see all the problems, but it's basically, it's what they do online to get that student on the phone. So I can just basically go to different websites and just hop in on the lead magnet, and then
I would opt in the lead magnet and then go, okay, where did it go to from here, right?
Yeah.
How do they, so, but then I would also call the company and act like a student and record the phone call. See how they treat you, right? Do they help you buy into a buying situation, or do they send you away? Or do they want to send you more information and send you away, right? But you want to record, if you want to get into the market, you want to record at least 4 or 5 of those phone calls. Because then you can go, listen, we've been tapping in and recording, and this is what's actually happening in for real, right? We've got the recording. You can even send the recording and say, look, we called, the first people I would send this to, Mark, are the first people you called, right? Because they can listen to their own phone call and go, crap, that's not how we should do business, right?
Yeah, because to me, I can easily audit their online system to enroll students. That's so easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing with the tutors. Because I know to get to the next level, we need to sell that system to bigger training companies. And and give me that idea of the strategy session, which is sort of like an audit that we can sell. Here's what's going on in the system right now, and here's what you need to put in place, and here's, because we are, and also have the map of every step already for lead generation for students. I already got that already.
Yeah.
You know?
See, there's a guy called Jay Bayer who works in the dental market, and what he has, he sells implementation. But what he does is he sells this thing called Fix the Phones, right? In the dental market, and he sells it for $40,000. And how he sells it is he calls the practice and says, this is what your people are telling people when they come, and you're sending them away. Now, don't burn your people, don't fire your people. You need to train your people, and that's where we come in. We come in and fix the phones. But they sell the fix the phones for $40,000. Then once they fix the phones, then they go and fix the rest of the business, and they upsell the client into hundreds of thousands of dollars for dental practice. So understand that if you can demonstrate through their actions, then you're going to dramatically improve your opportunity to get a much stronger result. Yeah,
sounds good. Like, I'm gonna test it out, but like I said, we have the system. Like I said, we're refining it because we're going to be done with the students in about. So
now you're going to show the system. Show it to them. Say, hey, do you want to have a look at this thing? We're going to, we've got people, we've got evidence, we've got proof, we've got structure. Can we show it to you? Right? That's what you got to do. Next is you got to demo it.
Okay, sounds good. Perfect. Thank you so much. And I'll
appreciate it. Dawn, yes, shop the competition, yes. So with that, if you haven't already, obviously it's not working. Nope, not working. All right. So I just want to make sure. Just want to share this with you for those who haven't, just so you see. Okay. If you haven't got it here already, grab the ticket, consultingunleashedlive.com. Go and grab your ticket here. Because I will sell out of those tickets. It is a 4-hour masterclass in sourcing leads and decision makers, hottest niche markets, 20 tested crafted offers we're putting together, 5-step sales process you can apply, how to close a sale into an agreement with a payment on the spot, service fulfillment done for you, plan to close 6 deals in 60 days, all recordings, all slides given to you. If you've bought a ticket, if you're buying a ticket or want to buy a ticket, there's already a program of training in the members area to get access to straight away. Everything provided. However, the ticket makes a huge impact on 15 families, solar lamps for families, 5 women get vocational training, 1 disadvantaged child. We're going to cover the education cost for an entire year. It is a ticket for good. As I said, we will cap this out. So if you go to Consulting Unleashed Live, grab your ticket. as quickly as possible, then as I said, we're going to have a really cool time. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be sharing a lot of tactical things with you. But the goal here is to help you to move the needle and make sure that you're getting great results. So we're going to be here, same time, same bat channel tomorrow, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Going to be talking about some other topics or ideas or tactical things. I'll be here to answer your questions and help you out like I always do. So if you are with me tomorrow, then I look forward to seeing you at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody.